So, I'm on my way to Cajamarca from Chachapoyas, and the only gas station I found during the route was this ambiguously marked garage on the side of the road. They didn't have conventional pumps. Instead, the attendant drained gas into a bucket from these steel drums and then poured it into my tank. I don't know the quality of the gas, but I guess only time will tell. I'm just glad I have enough gas to make it to Cajamarca, where I'll be stopping at a campground for the next night or two, and I can most likely find more gas there. I'm finally able to relax now that I have a full tank. However, I'll be passing through some very mountainous terrain. Experience has taught me that anything can happen at a moment's notice. I need to be alert and focused. The thought of a breakdown is always on my mind. My bike is heavy, the engine is gasping for air, and the terrain is steep at times. Also, mountain weather can change at a moment's notice, so it's a good idea to bring camping gear to keep you dry and warm in case you have to spend a few nights in the wilderness. Here's a look at the road I'm currently on. Even though it's paved, there are hundreds of tight switchbacks to maneuver around. I'll be maxing out at an elevation of 3,700 meters or 12,000 feet today on my way to Cajamarca, and so far my engine is performing very well. I'm now back down in elevation at the small town of Vilches. Below me is the Marañón River, which separates the district of Amazonas, which I've just left, with the district of Cajamarca, which I've now entered. Looking at my GPS, I can see I'm almost at Cajamarca. The city sits pretty high at 8,900 feet or 2,750 meters, and has a population of around 230,000. I won't be venturing out to explore the city. Instead, I just need a safe and quiet place to sleep. I slept like a rock last night, and now I've got the bike all loaded up this morning. I'm a bit fatigued at the moment and could use a couple of more days rest. I just don't think this campground is the place to do it, given that there is no electricity or Wi-Fi for me to use. Well, let's get started, shall we? The next leg will take me further from the mountains as I head towards the coastline to Trujillo, but in between there are plenty more switchbacks to navigate through. My arms will have another workout today. In Trujillo, I discovered through research some interesting ruins that appear to be worth a visit. The area is also not far from the region that's considered one of the cradles of civilization. Next stop, Chan Chan Lodge. What a nice day today. Summer is approaching and the weather will get even warmer. In case you forgot, the seasons are reversed between the northern and southern hemisphere. So in December, January, and February, it will be quite warm in South America. I've been really surprised at how inexpensive Peru has been so far. You can find cheap accommodations from $6 to $11 US, and can eat a 3-course dinner for around $4, and that includes a drink. Some fun facts about Peru is that it's the 19th largest country in the world and the 3rd largest in South America. The population nationwide is around 32 million, with its largest city being Lima. There are so many diverse landscapes to explore too. One can spend months traveling around Peru, and you'd barely be scratching the surface of what the country has to offer. I hope these videos give you an idea of what you may want to see, or perhaps skip. Alright, the road is starting to get a little rough, and with my tired arms and heavy bike, I have to concentrate here. I definitely don't want to get into an accident, especially in the middle of nowhere. Ah, crap. Just when you think the pavement is about to start, you're back on another death road. I'll try my best to get some good views here, but my priority will be not dying. Okay, Josh, focus. Keep the speed up a bit and the bike is more stable. Look forward for a better balance. Oh great, a tunnel. I hope no one's coming the other way. Fortunately, I was the only one out there on that crazy road. Here's a look of the ridgeback I had just passed. You can also see that I have plenty of more mountains ahead of me before I reach the flatter coastal area. It is definitely going to be a long, difficult day for me, and then I have a full camp to set up when I get to my destination. I may need to find some caffeine and sugar to help me get through the evening. Well, that's cool. Looks like some kind of brickmaking operation out here in the rural mountains. Whoa, this looks slippery. A little speed keeps the bike upright, most of the time anyway. Thank goodness, I finally reached the pavement. My nerves can relax a bit, and I can speed things up now for some more downtime this evening. The area is still mountainous, but according to my GPS, this road looks a lot straighter. I'm now passing the Punta Moreno Bridge that crosses over the Chicama River. Not much more to go to Trujillo now. I guess the river size really depends on the rainfall. It looks very wide, but I can only see some shallow streams. The farmers in this region must use the river for irrigation because there's not a lot of greenery in the area. It looks very dry and dusty. I finally made it to the Pan American Highway. The ocean is on my right and Trujillo is straight ahead. This must be the outer edge of the city. I'm a bit nervous at this point because you never know what a city is like until you've spent some time in it. I'm just spotting potential dinner locations now. El Gordo. The traffic is pretty light, so finding my destination is pretty straightforward. And here it is, Chan Chan Lodge. I ended up eating some snacks with soda last night. I was just way too tired to venture out for dinner. The following morning I walked to the ruins from the Chan Chan Lodge and found a restaurant on the way that served breakfast. I ate a lot so that I'm not interrupted with hunger during the long day. It's quite a long walk on the way to the entrance. You can definitely taste the salty air from the ocean here. There's a nice cool breeze too. Just outside the perimeter wall is a very large earth mound that appears to be under renovation. This tall perimeter wall is Chan Chan's defense to outsiders. Everything here is made from adobe, which is a building material made from earth, water, and some other organic material which prevents cracking. Chanchan was one of the largest pre-Columbian cities in South America, with an estimated population of around 60,000 at its peak size. It's also considered as the second largest adobe city in the world. It was originally the capital city of the Timur Empire from the years 900 to 1470 and is believed to have been constructed around the year 850. Chanchan translates to sun sun in the native Chimuz language of Qingnam, appropriately named for the sunny and dry climate year-round. Like any large city, Chanchan would have been supported by large farmlands. However, salt water cannot be used to water the crops. Instead, the city had 15-meter deep wells to extract groundwater, but later as food demand increased with population size, a vast network of canals were dug from the nearby Moche River, which was fed by fresh runoff water from the Andes Mountains. There are 10 walled areas or rooms, which functioned as residences for the Chimu kings, temples, burial chambers, ceremonial rooms, and reservoirs for the city's precious water source. Many artifacts were uncovered here and are on display at a nearby museum. Archaeologists discovered pottery and ceramics, ornamental figurines, gold jewelry, colorfully beaded cotton garments, and ceremonial seashells that were considered luxuries and traded over long distances. Many of the reliefs that decorate the city depicts how important the ocean is for life here. There are images of pelicans, sea lions, and otters, but what's interesting is the orientation of fish facing either to the north or to the south. This orientation is believed to represent the division of the Humboldt Current, in which cold waters divert southward and warmer waters divert northward, a natural phenomenon which affects the abundance of fish that still occurs to this day. Like many great ancient civilizations or empires, there was sadly a demise to the Chimu people. Around 1470, they were defeated and absorbed by the Incan Empire. In 1535, Spanish settlers had founded the city of Trujillo, which further pushed Chanchan into darkness. Although many treasures were looted by the Spaniards, many others were discovered when excavations began in 1969. To this day, the Chanchan ruins are still being excavated and restored. Tourism is the best mechanism to keep the work underway here before the city is buried and lost yet again. The following morning, back at camp, I was rudely awoken by this furry little guy who thought it would be fun to poke holes in my tent with his razor-sharp claws. Oh well, I'll have to fix those later, cause now it's time to get back on the road and continue southward through the rest of Peru. I did a little trip planning during my morning coffee and realized that Lima is about a 9 or 10 hour drive from here, and all highway, which my bike really isn't designed for. So I think I'm going to head eastward a little back into the mountains. Yup, that means more twisties and death roads. I chose a destination somewhere in the middle to cut the time in half to Lima. At higher elevations it gets much colder at night, so I booked myself indoor accommodations, even though it was a bit pricier. And pricier I mean by an extra $5 a night. So this is what I have planned. I'll take the Pan American south for a while, then use Highway 14 east, cutting right through the mountains, stopping in Juarez for the night. In total, 7-hour drive for the day. Wow, I can't believe it's been about 8 months of traveling so far since I left New Jersey. I fear there's still quite a long way until I reach Patagonia, and who knows what will happen between now and then. That's right, 8 whole months of constantly moving. Driving all day, finding accommodations all the time, packing up, unpacking, washing clothes wherever you can, finding food wherever you can. The nomadic lifestyle isn't as glamorous as one would think. In fact, I think it's a very difficult lifestyle to maintain. If you're watching these videos, then perhaps you're deciding to take on a similar trip. Just be aware of what these short videos don't show you, and that's the daily struggle of deciding when and where to go next. My best advice is to not maintain a schedule. What distance you think you can cover when planning your big adventure, multiply that time by 2. Trust me, you'll need it. Safe travels, everyone, wherever they may be, and have a wonderful day.